Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Parang Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Akhanda Mandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityor Ma Amritam Gamaya Om Shanti 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 Sahanao Avatu Sahanao Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinao Adhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Jai Jai Sri Radhe. So you're only one here, Malati, today.
Maybe somebody else will join, hopefully.
Anyway, I don't mind. That's why I just did the class, the Bhagavad Gita class, and it was rather nice to do the class with only the book in front of me, talking to a world where, well, I think of my students, so I know that there are many students who are listening just on the tape, so that's why I felt it necessary to do so. At least few, I think 3 or 4 people are following on the videos. All right, so Malati, you're going to be reading today Murkha Mandalam. So Mandalam here. So this is, in the manual, I don't know if of course, that even in the old version of the manual, so it hasn't been changed, but at the end of the appendices, there's a whole section on these words, right? You have the nouns that are nouns that express the idea of a group, right? So you have Murkha Mandalam. So this Mandalam here, Mandalam generally means a circle, but in this particular case, it means a group of or a collection of fools. So collective nouns, they're called. All right, so why don't you read?
Okay, good. Kashminchit aranye kashana mahavrikshaha asid.
Okay, so pretty formulaic there for the beginning.
So in a forest, there was a big tree.
That's right. Go on.
Tatra Sindhukaha Nama Pakshi Basam Karoti Sma. So there a bird named Sindhuka lived in this tree.
Yeah, so here there's this word nama, excuse me. This word nama is a bit interesting because here it's being used, it's a kind of an avyaya, right? So it's not composed with anything else, and it doesn't have any vibhakti. So this is not nama, but nama is also the neuter form of the word. So nama, you would think that it was compounded, because otherwise it doesn't make any sense. So it's just being used in this way, that the bird named Sindhuka, but nama is an avyaya. It's not being used as a regular. You can make it into a bahuvrihi samasa. So you have Sindhuka nama, But then if it was Sindhuka Nama, without the Visarga here, Sindhuka Nama is a compound word, then this would have to take on a masculine ending. So then it would become Sindhuka Nama. So then it would be of the name Sindhuka. So in either way, it means the same thing. And then Nama also, in the same way, Nama has another usage, which is a little bit more difficult to understand, but it's kind of an emphatic word. Anyway, go on.
Tasya purishe suvarnam utpadyate sma. So here, I'm not sure, does it mean that his droppings turned into gold, or does it mean that gold manifested in his droppings or from his droppings or something like that?
Well, so we just had this word in the Bhagavad Gita, and we did that twice. It was in that long sentence at the beginning of Baladev's commentary, right? We had utpadayati. Utpadayatum was that we had the infinitive there in Baladev. So utpadyate is produced, the word utpatti. So it means production. It means birth, right? It's the same as jayate, like that. So he says in his droppings, okay, very nice shlila, very nice way of translating it here. Purishera kita, Purishera kita, Purisha, that's Bengali. Purisha means the stool, right? So the droppings, yes. So gold was produced in his droppings, so like that.
Ekada kashana vyadaha tat aranyam gatavan. One day, a hunter came to this forest.
Yeah, just I'm going to just, there, we do have another participant here. Let me just, hang on a second. Okay. All right, keep going there, Balaji.
Tada pakshina tasya burataha eva purisha utsarjanam utsarjam kritam. So then in front of that hunter, directly in front of the hunter, Eva means, something like.
Directly, it was okay.
Directly in front of the hunter, he excreted.
Yes. So here, utsarga. So utsarga, sarga, that's srij. This is from srij dhatu, right? Like srishti comes from the same root. Like srishti, so the srishti, creation, right? So he's utsarjanam means like excreted is quite good. So he excreted his droppings. So here he's using again utsarjanam, verbal noun with kridhatu, only here using the past participle and using the instrumental in the passive construction. So by the bird, pakshin, pakshina, tasya purata, in front of him, eva, directly, he excreted droppings. Okay, good, keep going.
Purishe stitam suvarnam drishtavataha vyadhasya ascharya jatam. Seeing the gold in front of him, the hunter's astonishment, or
yeah, okay. So what's the problem here? So you just to make it
he became surprised, or he became amazed.
He was astonished. So this is a good way of saying it. Vyadhasya ascharyam jatam. Generally speaking, ascharya is an adjective, right? Not a noun. Ascharya vat pashyati kashchid enam. So there that vat suffix there we say. But anyway, his ascharyam, his chamatkaraha, jataha. Anyway, the meaning is clear. That the hunters became surprised. And this here is the Shashti Vibhakti of the present participle, right? So Drishtavata, upon seeing, or see the hunter who was seeing the gold situated in the stools, became surprised. Okay, no problems there. Shamantika, if you have any problem, you let me know, okay?
I have one question on previous sentence.
Go ahead.
Parishot sarjanam. Sarjanam, it's clear, but parishot, what is parishot?
No, there's a Sandhi here. Purisha, so we're having Purisha. Purisha means the stool, right? You may not know this, but if you're a Vaishnava and you follow Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj very famously says, Purishera Kito Hoiti Muishe, Nikrishta. Jagai Madhai Hoite Mui Hoi Papishta. Right, I am more sinful than Jagai and Madhai, and I'm lower, more, I'm lower than even the worm in stool. So Purisha means stool. So now this is Purisha Utsarjanam. So Utsarjanam, Utsrijati. So the root is Srij, and Ut is the prefix. So this is a very common kind of, you see, oat. This often you'll see, because Ut is a fairly common, or Upa. These prefixes, Upa and Ut, they both combine with A to become O. So you see frequently common compound words that have this O in the middle. So it's Purisha Utsarjanam. So Utsarjanam means to excrete, or to expel.
I see now, thank you.
Okay. So go on there, Malati, finish that.
Saha chintitavan janmani etavat paryantam aham etadrisham vichitra pakshinam na drishtavan. So in my whole life until now, janmani, in my life, etavat paryantam, until now, I have not seen such a wonderful bird.
Very good. Okay, so etavat paryantam, that's good. So etavat paryantam, so etavat is, it's of extent, right? Yavat, tavat, etavat, this much, up until this much, paryantam, antam here is the operative, paryantam, until the end. So etavat paryantam, this is kind of I don't think you would see it very much in like the Gita or the Bhagavatam. You wouldn't, but this is so it's really being calqued on modern languages, if you ask me. Up until now, in my life, so janmani, in my life, this is so janmani here. Janmani means birth, but it also means life, right? Mama janmani janmanishware bhavatad bhaktira haituki tvai, in my life. Etav, up until now, aham, I have not seen, nadrushtavan, etadrisham, so we have etavat, etadrisham, such a wonderful bird. Very good, go on. Finish the paragraph.
Oh, sorry, I thought. Aho, etasya purishe suvarnam utpatyati iti. Oh, in his dropping, gold manifests, or there's gold coming from his droppings.
That's right. Gold is produced in his stools. There. Okay, Shamantika, do the next one.
Saha jalam prasaryatam pakshinam grihitavan. So he took this bird. Jalam means net, right?
Yes.
Okay. Prasarya. This I don't recognize.
Okay, prasarya is also a well, it's a liap gerund, right?
Oh,
Yeah, and it's coming from the basic root is sri, like sarati. So you have like words like saraswati, so sara, sri sarati, so it means flowing, right? But now this is causative, sarayati, and prasarayati. So prasarayati means to spread, to cause to flow, you could say, cause to flow out, right? So basically means he spread the net. So spreading the net. So prasarayati, we have, you know, when I think I even used this, you probably didn't notice in my rather clumsy Sanskrit talk on Jiva Goswami's appearance day there. But there's a common word, you know, a common expression that they use in Hindi and Bengali and in Sanskrit also. They put prasara and prachara together. So you say prasaram, pracharam cha. So prasaram, spreading. So we talk about, this was in connection with Sanskrit language. Sanskritasya prasaram cha pracharam cha kritavan. Sanskrita bharatyaha karyam Sanskrita bhashayaha prasaram cha pracharam cha, or prasarascha pracharascha, masculine nouns. So prasara in that case means spreading and preaching and spreading, publicizing the Sanskrit language. That's the prasara, prachara. So here spreading is the idea.
so prachara is the same prachara.
So prachara, yeah, prachara is very similar really, pracharayati, but chara means, so charati means to move, and charati to mean make move. No, pracharati. So prachara is used for preaching usually. That's the usually publicity and preaching. Those are the words prachara, right? So we are dharma prachara. We talk about dharma prachara or bhakti prachara, like that. Preaching. We use that word a lot in ISKCON, obviously.
I see.
Okay, go on.
Okay.
So like evangelization.
So he, having spread the net, caught this bird.
Yes, go on.
Panjare sthapitavan cha.
Panjare. You may not know. Panjara means a cage.
Oh, okay. And placed in the cage.
Yeah, so he placed him in the cage, right? So Panjara. So that one we have, there's one. Varam huta vahajwala panjarena vyavastiti. I would rather be in a burning fire, in a cage with burning fire, than to have the association of non-devotees. That's what I think I have that in the manual, that verse, because it's with the word varam.
Actually, difficult choice. If you are placed in the cage with fire, I don't know whether you will be able to think about anything.
That's a kind of nishtha. Go on.
Punah etena pakshina aham kim karomi. And then, once again, punah. What shall I do with this bird?
Yes, very good. Go on.
Could I ask a quick question here?
Yes.
Why is this Punah here? Because
Punaha is going, so you see there, he's got a quote. So the Punaha is going to go to the, it really goes to the very end of the whole sentence. This is why I was actually just doing this in the Bhagavad Gita class. If you actually listen to the lecture, to the class that I was just doing in Bhagavad Gita, this quite often happens. You get the separation of something. There's a word that's introducing a quote, but it actually is connected to the very end of what comes after the quote. So oftentimes you have nacha at the beginning of a sentence. And so the nacha, or kimcha or whatever, you have to associate it with the end of the what comes after the iti, after the quote at the very end. So here there's a long passage that goes on with the iti at the end, but this punaha is going with the verb that is at the end of that quote. So you have to kind of keep this punaha bracketed until you finish, until you come to the end. But in English, you could say now, or now, and then you say, or again. It's just kind of an introductory word, but it's really being, so in the word that we were looking at today, you see there was yuktam. So now yuktam means correct. And now then it had to go to an iti-yuktam. So yuktam, iti-yuktam, the iti-yuktam came at the end. So what was said was correct. Well, actually it was a mistake. It was probably nacha-yuktam. It was a nacha that was dropped there somehow. And so that's what happens in that particular case. You'd have to go and listen to the Bhagavad Gita class. It's at the very end of the class.
Sure. I'm more, excuse me, I'm more concerned. Why is it punaha? I understand that it is introducing the quote and all that, but I always thought that punaha, means specifically again, like a repetition.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So again, you mean again, but it can also mean what's more, like that. Right, you can have that idea of being more, but let's just see let's go to the and again, punascha, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a repeating of something, but punaha, again and again. It's true that that's the primary meaning, but in how languages are, that languages, words kind of take on secondary meanings, and in this particular case I would think that it was more like that again, moreover, now again, like the thing, because he's chintitam is what's at the end, right? Chinta yatva. He was thinking again, so he's thinking, he's chintitavan, and now punaha, now he's chintitavan, so he's thinking again. So he was thinking over here, now he's thinking again. So this is how it's again. Yeah? Avagatam.
Yes.
Sarvam kushalam. Go. Semantika, continue.
Yeah, only I would like to clarify which exactly Gita class do you mean?
Oh, you weren't here.
You
just came in late to this class, but I gave because yesterday I forgot to record because you weren't there, Semantika. But yesterday
I wasn't there. I had bad internet. I could not enter.
Yeah, so that's why I sometimes I forget. And so yesterday I forgot to record. I forgot to press on record.
Yes, what to do?
So just see, you're a necessary part of my class, Semantika.
Yes.
Well, I must say you are certainly the most regular. There's no doubt about that. And so your presence was missed yesterday. So I get a chance to tell you how much I appreciate your presence. But anyway, I was just saying that. So I re-recorded the class just before this one, so
very good.
So there was no recording yesterday. So I'll post the recording after I'm finished there. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, many thanks for taking such efforts for us.
Well, it was actually, as I was saying to Malati just before, saying that in actual fact, it probably was better than the original one. Go ahead.
Это дришаха.
No. Oh, yes.
Вичитра.
Sorry. Go ahead. I was looking.
Это дришаха вичитраха пакши махараджасья самипе эва бхавет.
Okay. So I think that Bhavet, well, he's using Bhavet here, he's using Vidiling. I would probably say Bhavatu would probably be better than Bhavet here, but go ahead.
Wonderful bird like this,
Yeah.
Should be like, how to say, I forgot.
Well,
Samipam.
Samipa means nearby, right? So, it's one of the ways of saying, yes, I should probably do this because this is also another way of expressing possession, right? So you say, like, if you say that I have a book, let's say in Bengali, for instance, Amar Pashe ek boyache. So Amar Pashe, Mama Parshve ekam pustakam asti. The Mama Parshve eka pustakam asti. So, there is a book by my side. It's a way of saying, of indicating possession. So it should be, so here, what he really means here says that such a wonderful bird should be in the possession of the king.
Okay, I see. I intuitively understood, but I wanted, of course, to translate normally word by word.
Yes, no, exactly. No, I understand. That's the way we should do it. I mean, they really should be doing, but then you have to go through the process in translation of going through the process of seeing the literal thing, and then getting going through the transformation process before you spit it out in the other language. Okay, go ahead.
And also in Hindi situation is the same.
Yes, exactly. Yes. So mere paas ek kitab hai. So mere paas ek kitab hai. So I have a book like this. So mere paas doesn't really mean, you're not saying mere paas and it's, you don't even have to, mere paas, but it's in Vrindavan. But I have that book. But really, mere paas, the book is here with me. I have a book.
I understand why it is said like this in Hindi, because otherwise I just memorized the way how to say it.
Yeah, well, I mean, it comes from the fact that we don't really. I should put this into the chapter on Shashti Vibhakti, because this is quite, I didn't do that. It's really either with the Saptami Vibhakti or with Shashti Vibhakti. The Saptami, I think better to put it with the Shashti Vibhakti, and we'll do the Saptami Vibhakti later on. Anyway, go ahead, keep going, huh?
So Samipe is Saptami here, right?
Yes.
So like in the vicinity of the king, like this.
That's right. It means in the vicinity of the king, but here really means it should be in the possession of the king is really.
Yes. Okay. Atah Maharajasya.
Maharajaya.
Sorry. Eva etam Pakshinam upayani karomi. Wait.
Yeah, well, upayani. Yeah, so upayanam. Well, upayanam means a gift, right? So let's see. Let's just grab a look here. Does that come on the screen?
But upaya, it is method.
Right? Yes, that's right. So now you're quite right, and that's this is upayanam. Well, upayana. So here, the act of coming near going to a teacher, engaging in a religious process. Here, the last one here. So an offer, a present. So when you come, so the idea of going to a teacher, becoming a pupil, getting initiated, engaging, undertaking. So in all these activities, when one goes to a teacher, one should have something in his hands, right? Samit panihi srotriyang brahmamit nishtam. So samit panihi, the idea that one goes to the guru carrying fuel for the sacrificial fire. It's a very interesting idea. You see, in the previous class also, it connects nicely that the idea of the Brahmins are engaged in sacrifice, and serving the Brahmin means to help him in performance of the sacrifice. So you bring an offering of a present or a gift. Just before we go on here, let's look at the, let's do a reverse translation and see what we get. Gift, let's see what gift. So let's see, okay, so gifts. So danam is obviously, danam is the main word for gift, giving something, but upayanam, you see it right here at the very top, probably because this is in alphabetical order. No, it's not in alphabetical order. What else do we have? Gift, 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 make a gift, dayi karomi, upadayi karomi. Well, here was upayani karomi. Well, so it looks like upayanam is okay. He puts, oh, here, gift. What else do we got? No, these are all, none of these. Anyway, quite a few words, but let's see. All right, so the main word is the main word here that's being given as to mean gift. So upayani karomi. So what is that? Upayana, this is a chvi samasa. So chvi samasa is where you combine a word, upayanam, with karomi, and you transform this last syllable of the noun into a long e, upayani karomi, making it a gift. Right? So I make a gift of this bird. I'm making this bird a gift. And then we had above here was Maharajaya.
For the king.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Iti chin taitva saha nagaram gatavan. So thinking thus, he went to the city.
Okay. Continue.
Maharajam drishtva uktavancha. So having seen the king, he said also, Maharaja, O king, Eshaha kaschit vichitraha pakshi. This is some wonderful bird. Etasya purishe suvarnam utpadyate iti. In its droppings, gold is formed.
Yeah, so that's good. So we're having this is our refrain here. You know, Kaschana, normally I don't think it's Aisha Pakshi. I'm going to look this up afterwards also, because generally speaking, I'm going into the Panchatantra and trying to find the original stories and reading them there also, and to see how they say it. And of course, it's interesting to see how it's being simplified. Kaschana, this excessive use of Kaschana, I don't think would be, I'll bet you that in the original that is, it's probably not there at all. At any rate, and do you know can you tell me, Samantika, what's the past participle of utpadyate?
Past participle? Grammar terms are like tricky because terms are in English.
Oh, the
this
past
is Sanskrit.
participle?
My thinking is Russian.
Yes, I know it is. Well, you don't. Well, I can't help you very much there.
if you give me some example of past participle, any other word.
Okay, well, here's the past. Here you have the perfect participle active. Ukta, so that's formed with the past participle. So ukta is the past participle here. Uktavan.
Ukta. Okay.
And here the past participle of chintayatva would be chintita. The past participle of gatavan, gata is gata.
Now I see. Okay, this past participle this with star ending. Okay. So what is the question once again, please?
I want to know what's the past participle of utpadyate.
So this is passive, right? So I need to eliminate passive, I think. It sounds tricky. So pad is the root, pad.
Pad.
Okay, so and
okay, taking too long. All right, so this is the
Yes.
verb. So verbs verbs that have this da at the end, pad, sad, like this, pad at the end. Their past participle is na, double n, panna, utpanna. Right? So you could put it, if you use the past participle here, it says etasya purishe suvarnam utpannam. Right? Okay, so utpannam, pratipannam, vipannam. There's many, because there's pad and sannam also, utsannam. These were in the Gita. Some of these were in the Gita. All right. Okay, Malati, back to you.
Maharaja Ativa you're moving. Ativa Santushtaha. Saha Sevakan Uktavan Bho Sevakaha Etam Pakshinam Jagaru Kataya Rakshantu. So the king was very satisfied, and he told his servants, protect this bird very carefully. Jagaru.
Attentively.
Kataya?
Jagaruka. So jaga, do you know jagara? You know jagaranam?
Like wake up, to wake?
That's right, yeah. So, so here, waking, so jagaruka would be an adjective from jagaranam. So a person who is awake is jagaruka. I don't know how that's formed. It's not a common formation, that uka ending. It says, ya nisha sarva bhutanam tasmin jagarti sanyami. Yasyam jagrati bhutani sa nisha pashato mune. So jagrati, it's an athematic verb, but jagaranam is the verbal noun. Jagaruka is an adjective. Jagaruka, wake, and then having the quality. So wakefulness. So it means attentively. So take care of this bird with great attention, like that. Okay, keep going. You have another question? You have any more? But that's it's a good example of this taya, right? The ta, jagaruka taya, that using this abstract noun in the Tritiya Vibhakti to make a kind of an adverbial sense. But we were just looking at also, if I can refer to the Bhagavad Gita class again. So now you really have to go back and listen to that Bhagavad Gita class, because there we had nishkamataya and sakamataya. So it was nishkamataya nushtitam karma and sakamataya nushtitam karma. So the karma that was performed with the quality of having desire or karmas that are formed with the quality, without the quality of having desire. Anyway, go on.
Vyatasya prabhutam paritoshikam yachantu iti. Give the hunter plenty of gifts, awards.
Yeah, reward would be a good word here. So yachantu, this is a word for give, right? Prayachati. Yo me bhaktya prayachati. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachati. So the prayachati here is yachati. This is another word for give. You know, of course, da is much more frequently used, but here in this particular case, he's saying give, it means give. And paritoshikam, so paritosha, that's a common Hindi name, Bengali name, paritosha. Right? So it means one who is fully, all around satisfied, happy, but a paritoshikam. So the paritoshikam is kind of a special word just to mean a reward or a gift like that. And prabhutam, great amount. Okay, no problems there. Using the Chaturthi Vibhakti here, give it to the Samantika next. Sorry.
So here, I'm sorry, this previous sentence. So can you word by word please tell once again how you translate?
From Vyadhaya?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Vyadhaya, Vyadha means a hunter.
Yes, yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he's talking to the servants, right? So
yes.
he's using the polite form, rakshantu, yachantu, that's imperative, plural. So give to the hunter. Prabhutam here means a great amount, and paritoshikam, gift or reward. So give plenty of rewards to the hunter. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Let's have a look.
Mm-hmm.
Just give it a quick, we'll do a quick thing here. A reward, gratuity. Right? Yeah. Gratifying, satisfactory. So there you see the root meaning, paritoshika. But it's from paritosha, right? Paritosha. Delight. So bringing delight. So pleasing, something that's pleasing. So paritoshika can be used a little bit, not necessarily just as a reward, but he says gratuity also. So it means what you're being paid. And sometimes the salary can also be called a paritoshika on occasion. All right, who's next here? Malati, back to you. Oh, no, excuse me, Samantika, to you.
Yes, it's me. Tada mantri Maharajam Uktavan. Then a minister said to the king, Maharaja, O king, Eshaha Vyadaha Asatyam Vadati. This hunter it is telling untruth. Tells untruth.
Yeah, keep going.
Kadachit va pakshi purishe suvarnam utpadyate kim is there any time when in
Bird stool.
When in droppings, yes, in stool, there is a gold.
Yeah, keep going. That's straight.
Этот этот asatim eva, this is certainly untruth. Vyadasya vachate
Vachane.
vishvasaha na what? Vachane vishvasaha na karaniyaha. In words of the hunter,
Okay, well, you can just go straight to the, you don't have to do word by word here. These are very easy sentences. Just give me what your translation would be.
Okay. So, like, it's, I'm lost, sorry.
Well, you should not believe in the words of you should not believe the words of the hunter. So vyadasya vachane, in the words of the hunter, vishwasa means believe, nakaraniya should not be done. So belief should not be done. So there's again, see this use of the verb kri with a noun to make because you could say vishwasaniya. There's a word vishwasaniya you could have used directly. So vyadasya vachanam na vishwasaniyam. You could put it like that. Or vyadasya vachane na vishwasaniya.
So in this case, so same vibhakti vachane, but the word vishwasaniya. Huh?
Well, it's the question of how you're thinking about it, you see, because here karaniya, it is not to be done. So vishwasa is not to be done in the words. So vishwasa takes the saptami vibhakti. It's the vishaya saptami, right? You have to remember this. So we have some words that require, they're not transitive, but they require a saptami vibhakti. But vishwasa, it can also have a direct object, I'm pretty sure. So you can say vachanam na vishwasaniyam. So the words are not to be believed. So it's believing is not to be done in the words, or the words are not to be believed. Either way you could say it, I think.
Okay.
But anyway, here he's using, but here you have to remember this idea of the Vishaya Saptami, seventh case being used as the object. So like those are words, usually words that mean some kind of attitude, right? To have an attitude towards someone. So have an attitude of love, or, like this kind of thing. Loving is especially the most important one, probably. But Vishwasa is also takes the septimi. Continue.
Etam pakshinam pancharataha vimochayantu iti. Panjarataha. Rataha.
No.
From rati, from night.
No. It's panjara, and then the tas suffix. So it's a panchami. Panjara taha. From the cage. And
this is the cage once again. Okay. Like free this bird from the cage.
Exactly.
Or how to say it in English?
Yeah, so release the bird from the cage. That's exactly right. So once you've gotten to the idea.
Release, yes.
So now once you have the idea, of course, now you can you translate it into Russian. You can translate. You probably to say, let him out of the cage. You would say probably like that. Let the bird out of the cage. Whoops. Malati, sorry, let me just go back here. Whoops, sorry, a little bit further. There.
Sivakaha mantri vachana anusaranam panjara dwaram uttatitavantaha. Following the words of the minister, they opened the doors of the cage.
Very good. Udghatita, unlocked or opened.
Pakshi Panjarataha Uddiya Raja Bhavanasya Unnate Dware Upavishtavan. So flying up from the cage, the bird sat on the doors of the big palace, Raja Bhavana.
Unnate is going with Dware.
Yeah, the big doors.
No, Unnata, no. Well, Unnata here means high.
So the high gates.
Yeah, it's a bit clumsy expression here, to my view. But Unnate Dware, so on a high door, I guess it means above the gate. Let's call Dwara a gate. So he sat on the high gate, above on top of the gate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everything's there. Pakshi Panjarataha Uddiya Raja Bhavanasya Unnate Dware Upavishtavan. Continue on.
Tatra Saha Purishot Sarajanam Kritavan. So there he released another dropping.
Yeah, I mean, we obviously have so many slang expressions for that we can. But he's using here anyway. After today, you'll probably never forget the expression Purisho Sarjanam. Continue.
Tat Purisham Suvarnam Ayam Suvarna Mayam Asit.
Yeah, so there you have that mayam. Actually, I was talking about this also in the previous class as well, about this mayam suffix and also rupam, atmakam, and things like that. But anyway, suvarna mayam here in this particular, so one of the meanings of mayat suffix is to be either pervaded by or to be full of, right? So his stool was full of gold.
Yeah. Rajadayaha Ascharyena Tat Drishtavantaha. So the king and others saw this with surprise.
Yes. Rajadayaha Ascharyena. So there you see the Ascharyena Tat Drishtavantaha. They saw it with amazement. So we had that Ashcharyavat Pashyati Kashchidenam. They could have said here Rajadayaha Ashcharyavat Drishtavantaha. You could have use the same word as in the Gita. Okay, Samantika, we're almost at the end here, so we are all
Tada Pakshi Chintayati. So then the bird thought, Murkaha ham Vyadhasya Jale Patitaha. So I was caught in the net of the hunter. But what is Murkaha here? I don't understand the meaning.
Look, aham, so the Pakshi is speaking, so this masculine So it's I am a fool. So he's going to say here, I was a fool, and this one, and that one is a fool. So he's going to the Murkha Mandalam. That's the name of the story is. So he's going one after the other, saying how everybody's a fool. So I was a fool because I fell into the net of the hunter. Now next one.
Okay. Murkha Vyadaha Mam Maharajaya Dattavan. So the foolish hunter gave me to the king.
Yes.
Saha Murkha Maharajaha Murkhasya Mandrinaha Vachana nu Saramam Bandha Vimuktam Kritavan.
Excellent.
So he fool.
Well, here it's going. Murkha is
So
an adjective.
that foolish king.
Yes.
Yes. So this foolish king gave followed advice of a foolish minister.
That's right.
Who released me from the bondage.
There you go. Very good. So it's the king who did that. Maharaja is the subject and Kritaman. So following the words or following the instruction of the foolish mantri, he let me go. Last one.
Evam samagram jagat eva murkha mandalam iti. So thus so samagram is like a whole, right?
Yeah, entire, you could say.
Right, whole.
You say the entire world.
Entire, okay. So in this way, the entire world, verily, is how to say the abode of fools.
Yeah, or a circle of fools, or a collection of fools. Okay, let me see the last one. Purvang tavadaham murkha ditiyah pasha bandhakaha tato raja cha mantri cha sarvang hi murkha mandalam. So just saying this here is just putting into a verse. Purvang, before, tavadaham murkha. So tavat, you see this way, this a tavat paryantam, we're seeing the use of this tavat in a particular way. This is tavat here, doesn't really have any meaning, it says, but is a poor, just it's a word, it's a filler that's giving then, so up until then, whatever tavat, you really can't translate tavat very clearly, but purvang tavat, it just it's adding some mood to the thing. So then I was first of all I was a fool. Second, the person who captured me, Pasha means the tied up, right? So Pasha Bandaka, one who tied me up or captured me. Tato Raja cha mantri cha, then the king and the mantri, sarvang hi mukha mandalam, everyone is a fool.
At least nobody died in
that's
story.
true. Very good. Nobody died in this time.
Very optimistic.
Well, maybe fools, what they say, there's a saying that, I think it's, where is it? It's the good fortune of a drunk, the fools are sometimes the ones who get away. Okay, let's leave it there. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kaschid dukkha bhavet, Purnam Madaha Purnam Idam Purnat Purnam Udachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Jai Jai Sri Radhe. Jai Jai Sri Radhe, Jai Jai Sri Radhe, Shyam Nitai Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol.